Hi there, this video will instruct you how to make a 3-inch flower using Paper Flower Center Bundle number 1. So we're taking a center bundle, so these are created as centers to use in other flowers, but actually creating a new flower with it. Now the sepal that I'm using is from a mini flower, so it's available in the Kelli Mini Flower or the Ladybug Mini Flower sepal. Or you don't have to use a sepal at all. So you're going to set up your project in your machine's design space with the sizes posted at the beginning of this video. There is also an instruction document that is linked down in the description of this video that will take you to my PhotoFabPaperFlower Makers group. And in the guides tab, there will be written instructions and the sizes as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started. You're going to take your center. So this is center number 2 from Flower Center Bundle number 1. We're going to take a bone folder and we're going to curl this. Now I do offer paper flower tools in my Etsy shop. However, I do not offer the bone folder that is available in my Amazon storefront, which is also linked in the description of this video. So we're just curling it slightly because at the tallest point of the center, it is a 1/2 inch. So there are pieces that are shorter. So just a slight little curl like lashes. Okay. And then we're going to take our slotted quilling tool. We're going to thread it, our center. Whoops. Hardest part. I had it. Okay. Once it's threaded, roll it a few times and then add some glue to secure it. Roll it and keeping that bottom edge aligned the best you can. Okay. You're going to remove it from the slotted quilling tool. And we're going to set it to the side. All right, for our sepal, we're going to take our 1/8 inch dowel rod. So in my Etsy shop, I do offer a dowel rod set and a color-coded chart where I hand color the dowel rods. So it's easy to identify what size dowel rod it is. So we're going to take the 1/8 inch dowel rod, place that down in the middle of your sepal petal, thumb and index finger, pinch it up and roll it. Okay. Thumb and index finger with your opposite hand, take your thumb on the opposite side, on either side, and your index finger, pinch it up and roll it along your index finger. Thumb, index finger holds the dowel rod in place. Now I'm going to grab the petal, and once I have that, I let go and I roll it. Okay, pinch and roll. Pinch it up and roll it along. Then your petals are rolled up. So now you're going to flip it over to the opposite side and set it to the side. My next step is going to be totally optional for you, whether you want to ink your petals or not. So I'm going to take a piece of scratch paper or copy paper, whatever you have. And I'm taking a complementary color, so I'm using Rusty Hinge. Now this is Spring Hill Digital Goldenrod color. And I'm going to use a finger dabber. And I'm going to roll it in the center, flip it over, and roll it in the center again. So just in a circular motion. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It just gives it a nice little highlight when you look in towards the center. And you're going to do this for all the petals. And again, you can make this flower in any color using any color ink, or don't use any ink at all. Again, we're using Paper Flower Center Bundle 1 to create a mini flower. Flip it over. Again, you just continue with all of them, doing the same technique, circular motion, both sides. I'm just doing that circular motion on all the petals on both sides. Now we're going to take our dowel rods and we're going to style our petals. So for one of the largest petals, we're going to roll this one under. So we're going to start with, I call it the thumb. So if you look at it, it looks like a glove or a mitten. And we want that on the right side. So I'm going to flip it over. And we're going to use the 3/16 inch dowel rod. So that is my blue dowel rod right here. And I'm going to roll, they're going to be rolled under. So with the thumb on the right, we're going to roll them up. So place that dowel rod down in the middle of the petal, pinch it up, and roll it along. Okay, we're doing that same technique. Thumb, index finger holds the dowel rod in place. You pinch it up and roll it. Just make sure you get that little thumb area rolled. Now these are our bottom layers, so we don't want them rolled, or not curled a super lot. Okay, we're going to flip it over because we want them rolled under. Layer 2, we're still going to use the blue 3/16 inch dowel rod. Now my thumb is going to be on the left. So it's here on this side. Place that dowel rod down and we're rolling all these petals up. So the first ones were rolled under, now we're rolling them up. Pinch it up and roll. So again, place that dowel rod down, thumb, index finger, pinch it up and roll. I promise you, after you do it a few times or 100 times, you will get the hang of it. Just practice. You just want some curl, some shape to your petals. Be more realistic like a flower. Okay. Layer 3, we're still using that 3/16 inch dowel rod, the blue. My thumb is on the right. So it's over here now. And I'm going to roll them up and down. So what does that mean? We place the dowel rod down, thumb, index finger, pinch it up, and roll. I pinch it, roll it between my fingers. I skip a petal. We go to the next one. Skip a petal. And we go to our next one. We skip and roll. Now we roll it all the way around. And you roll it up. The same technique. So that's how we get our petals to be rolled under and up. We just skip the petal. And I like to roll all my petals up. I find it much easier. Okay. Our next one, we're going to now switch to the 1/8 inch dowel rod, which again is our purple dowel rod here. And our thumb is on the left side. Okay, over here. And we're going to roll all these petals up. So place that dowel rod down in the middle of the petal, thumb, index finger, pinch it up and roll. Oops, just don't rip it like I did. Pinch it up and roll. So I'm rolling that thumb around it and then just rolling the rest of the petal. Okay, our next one is our 2.5 inch wide. My thumb is on the right, so it's on this side. And I'm rolling them one up and one down. I'm still using that purple dowel rod. Placing it down in the middle of the petal, thumb, index finger, pinch and roll. You skip a petal, pinch and roll. Skip, skip. And then roll it all the way over. Okay, so now we're going to take the ones we didn't roll and roll them up. Pinch and roll. And I just flip it back. Okay, now you should have 3 petals left, the 2 2-inch and 1 2 1/4. We're going to take our precision scissors and we're going to cut in between each petal. So ever so slightly, you're just going to do a slight cut. You don't want to cut your petals off. So that's why we're only doing just a little bit of a cut. And why do we do this? It's so we can make our center smaller. We need it to get a little bit skinnier in the center, and if we just kept going at the same size, it wouldn't get any smaller. So you can see the little cut. Now with our thumb on the left side, so it's over here on the left, we're going to take a smaller dowel rod. So with my dowel rod sets I offer in my Etsy shop, I do provide a skinnier dowel rod than the 1/8. You'll get 2 of them, and then you get one that's smaller. Okay, so you can use a toothpick or anything round. And all the rest of our petals will be rolled up. Again, the thumb is on the left side. So when I'm looking at the top petal, it's on the left. Okay, place that dowel rod down, thumb, index finger, pinch up and roll. Okay, pinch up and roll. And then for our last 2, again, stack them. And we're going to cut into the center with our precision scissors. So a slight little cut in between each petal. Just don't cut your center, your petals off. Okay, now I'm going to separate them and we're going to have our thumb on the right. So if I'm looking at the top one, and we're going to roll them up. Because these are littler, I'm just going to do them both or singly. I'm not going to roll them at the same time. Okay, you're placing that dowel rod down, thumb, index finger, pinching up and roll. And you're going to do exactly the same thing with your last petal. I do like a nice full flower. A little bit more realistic looking for this one. And then with adding the ink, you can highlight the shape and the roll of your petals. Okay, so now we're just going to go back and highlight a little with some ink again. I just poked my finger. Okay, so I'm still going to use my rusty hinge. You can use whatever colors you would like. I'm going to flip them over and start with my largest. And again, these were rolled under, so I just add some ink on top. And I'm not careful. I'm just randomly adding it to each petal. It should go fast. You don't need to worry. It's not super detailed. Okay, your next one is rolled up. So again, I just kind of highlight the shape of it. Flip it over, add some ink. Again, we're just going to highlight the shape. I like to do it after it's rolled because it highlights the rolling, just basically the edges. Makes it easier. Okay. You can do as little or as much inking as you like, or none at all. That's what's fun about paper flowers. I'm here to inspire you to create your own and make it your own. And of course, the more detail that you add, the longer it's going to take you per flower. Go back and add it to the tips. Almost there. And then the last one. Flip it over. Okay. Now we get to assemble and watch our flower bloom. Okay, so again, we're going to flip our petals over. Layer 1, it was rolled under. Layer 2 was rolled up. So I'm going to, normally I won't roll layer 1, but because we rolled them under, I'm just going to slightly roll in the center with our metal ball stylus on our flower shaping mat. And it just lifts our petals up. You add some hot glue. We're going to look at the top 2 petals, look at a petal, and bring it straight down in between. Okay, oops. And we keep rotating it around. We roll our next ones where the petals meet the base right around, and it lifts our petals right up. Okay, we look at the top 2 petals, we look at a petal, bring it straight down. And remember, layers 1, 2, 3 were all the same size. So it's giving us a nice round shape of our petal, our flower. Next one, we're going to roll again where the petals meet the base, right around. We add some hot glue. So now our size of our petal changed. We're just going to keep rotating. Look at the top 2 petals, look at a petal, bring it straight down in between and press. Take our next one, we roll where the petals meet the base with our flower shape on our flower shaping mat. And we look at our top 2 petals. We choose a petal, bring it straight down in between and press. You can stir it in the center with your metal ball stylus. Super duper pretty. Okay. Roll where the petals meet the base. Okay. Look at a petal, place it in between and press. And then for our last 2, we're going to roll it with the smallest metal ball stylus. Really lift those petals up. We're going to add glue to the bottom and around the bottom edge. So just watch your fingers because you're coming up on the sides here a little. That's the hardest part. Glue it into one of the centers. Okay. And then fold up the petals around. And you want to make sure it grabs and they stand straight up. Because we add that glue on the side, that's going to hold the petals up in the air. Okay. Add your hot glue. Okay. Look at a petal. So if I pulled that petal back, it would fall in between those 2. Fold the petals up and around. Okay. We're going to look at a petal. If I pulled that back, it would go in between here. We're going to roll our sepal. Now I'm not stemming this one on my Facebook tutorial that is linked in the instruction guide document. I did stem my flower. Okay, flip it over and we're going to place the sepal in between. I'm just going to let that dry for a moment. So if you stemmed it, it will look like that. And again, the sepal does not come with Flower Center Bundle 1. You can use any sepal or no sepal at all. Depends what you're using it for in your project. And then I just like to pull some of them down to shape it a little. But she's super duper pretty. Thank you for watching.